Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Silver Haze, and this is a new drama from writer-director Sasha Polak. And this film focuses on the story of Franky, played by Vicky Knight, a young woman who 15 years earlier had a lot of her body burned, and all these years later, still no word on who did it. And that is part of the journey that Franky goes on in this film that Knight and just imbues with so much raw emotion, so much authenticity, and you generally have a whole ensemble of characters in this film that feel like genuine people. They feel like somebody you could just meet on the street, and you have Franky's journey through so much, her complicated relationship with her mother, the uncomfortable relationship that her sister is in, and the piece of crap that she's dating, and the things that he'll do to just horribly mess with people. You have this journey that she connects with this young woman, Florence, play Esme Creed Miles, and their on and off again relationship becomes a big anchoring point of this film. I think Florence and Franky are both people that are very different in personality and are trying to help each other find balance in that. But I feel like narratively there's definitely parts where this film keeps going back to Florence. You have Franky keep returning to Florence, and it feels quite repetitive after a while. But outside of some of those familiar beats, some of those elements that feel a little repetitive, redundant, or so, this film has a lot to pack in. It is a very somber film. It is very heavy. There's a darkness to elements of like, hey, Franky almost got burned alive. And the lengths that she'll go at times in this film to try to get revenge. There's one particular moment because Florence is quite the bad influence on Franky that winds up almost costing somebody dear their life. And it's one of those kinds of things where like this film occasionally has its big moments, but generally a lot of it's just like the day-to-day interactions. And, you know, Franky's bouncing around between different found families, dealing with just the nature of everything in such a strange place that we're in here in 2024 in particular. But this film is a dour film. It doesn't have a whole lot of hope. It doesn't have like big emotions to it. But it's a kind of film that has a lot of depth, has a lot of emotion, has a lot of ideas. What extent would you go to get revenge for something? How long will you stick to something hoping to find justice? And those are some big important themes that are a part of this film that are able to be conveyed from Polak's direction and writing and the performance that Knight gives at the core center of this film. And there's a lot to admire about this film. I think Angela Bruce is a really great supporting character in this film. But there's also a lot going on. It can be a little bit muddled in terms of how it's telling its story. But it does have the emotion, it has the themes, it has those pieces to make this one stand out in a positive way. But those are my thoughts on Silver Haze. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.